everyone, I'm Jay and this is the Camden Stitch. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing this pattern or this pattern. Wait for it. They are the same pattern. If you are in the UK, there's a UK magazine called Love Sewing magazine that's just come out. This month has released a pattern for 2 moto jackets, and it is exactly the same as this one, the Kwik sew pattern. It's obviously reissued. I've checked the instruction leaflets, they're exactly the same. The pattern pieces are exactly the same, so they've obviously rebranded it under this Threadcount label, which does look a bit cooler than the Kwik sew packaging, which looks a little bit dated, but it's the same pattern. And I'm going to tell you all about it. And this is the jacket that I made, and I can't tell you how chuffed I am with it. I am super happy with this coat. It was the first sort of foray into, no, it wasn't quite the first foray into coat making, was it? Because I made my Audrey denim jacket last year, in the summer rather, and I made my vintage coat quite recently. But I'd never made a moto jacket before, I'd never sewn with faux leather before, and this particular faux leather is a beast. It's so squeaky when you wear it out. Ian's like, you can hear me coming a mile off. But yeah, it's a beast. It's stuck to everything. There was no problem getting it through the machine. The machine's Teflon foot worked fine, but that was only the bit that was in contact with the bottom of the foot. Every other bit that was in contact with the sewing machine, as you're pushing the whole jacket through, it just stuck to it, because this stuff just like had got these powers of adhesion. So it was a bit of a pig wrangling it through. But the pattern, I cannot praise enough. It is so well written. Assuming that the instructions for this one are the same, which they look exactly the same to me, I'm pretty sure they are. Kwik sew instructions, I'm very impressed with them. Obviously the last Kwik sew pattern that I made was this horror, and I kind of swore never again really. I mean, that one was such a nightmare. But I really fancied a moto jacket. I had got 2 patterns. One was the Mimi G pattern, but that doesn't have a collar. And this one was kind of by far the most traditional in terms of how it looks and the features that it has, the epaulettes, the collar. I really liked that there was 2 lengths and there was a cropped length, so that meant I didn't have to shorten it or crop it or make any kind of, like when I made the Audrey jacket and I wanted to crop it, I had to like take off the welt pockets and things. But with this one, you've already got your pattern pieces for the cropped jacket, so that was really good. The only thing that's a little bit naughty about the pattern is, what would you make this out of, right? What would you make a moto jacket out of? The pattern does not call for faux leather, leather or leatherette. It calls for denim, faux suede, twill, suiting, wool, not leather. And I just thought, well, that puts me on the back foot for a start, because I feel like I'm sewing with something that is not recommended for this pattern, when I already kind of feel like a novice with this type of pattern. But there's absolutely nothing that couldn't be worked around. There are a few kind of things where, I don't know, it's not quite as easy to like understitch or top stitch, but I just kind of freestyled it, and I think I could, like 95% of the steps I could just follow with the leatherette absolutely fine. This faux leather, by the way, it's from one of the places that I go to in Walthamstow Market, and there isn't any more of it, unfortunately. But I bought it. I went to get it, it was the end of the bolt. This is classic upselling, by the way, me not going on my sewing on a budget advice. It was the end of the bolt, and I said I wanted to meet her, and as she was rolling it out, I said, oh no, actually, I'll take 2. And she said, oh, we're near the end, I'll just see how much there is. And she said, oh, there's nearly 4 meters there, do you want it all? And I said, oh, all right then. So I ended up with 4 meters when I'd only gone in for one. That is classic upselling, but she gave me a very good price for it, so I can't really complain. So I love this. I want to make, I've got some black, just not patent, but black leather for another one, and I can't wait to make another one. I just need to find the time to do it. One nice thing about this pattern is there is a seam in the back, which means that if you've got a high round back like me, or you need to make that adjustment, what I do is I take a curved wedge out of the top of a pattern piece, which means that I can't cut backs on the fold anyway, which is fine, because I'd rather have a seam down the back and have it fitted properly than have something that's cut on the fold but sticks out from my neck at the back. So that's good. So that allows for some extra shaping. I think I could actually do with all the pattern pieces maybe being tapered in a bit at the waist. I had the same issue with the Audrey. I feel like it sits a little bit proud from me, but I don't know if that's to do with my bust. It might be because there's no kind of bust dot. It's princess seams though. I don't know. I don't know about that, and because I don't know about it, I'm a bit reluctant to make the alteration myself. The only thing that I made a mistake on, and it was nothing to do with their instructions, it was because it was the end of the project and I was a little bit tired, was I really messed up the waistband badly. I'll show you. I've tried to cover it up by putting a couple of poppers on and putting the poppers on the other side, but if you look here you can see that, oh, there's some stray threads as well. You can see that that does not fit at all. You can see that that is actually way too big for that, and I don't know how I managed to do that, but again, I don't think it was their instructions, and if I try and wear it closed, it pulls it very wonky. It looks a real mess. So I have to wear it open, but that's absolutely fine anyway, because I knew I was going to have to wear it open because, and again, this is nothing to do with the pattern, this is the fault of the fabric, is because the fabric is so sticky and squeaky, the zip carriage, the zipper pull won't actually move up and down. You have to really kind of unstick it at every sort of minute to try and pull it up. So I just decided, well, it's just that kind of a jacket that you would just wear open anyway. It was my toile. As a toile, I'm really chuffed with it. Something else new that I'd never done before was inserting zipper welt pockets, and I was just so chuffed with how well they went. I practiced them. I did about 3 practice runs before I did them actually on the pattern piece. I was quite fortunate because I'd got all that extra fabric that it meant that if I'd made a mistake I could recut a panel anyway, but I didn't need to. So my zipper welt pockets came out absolutely bloody lovely actually. I'll show you the details because I'm just really proud of them. So that's my zipper welt pocket. The zipper itself went in great. You want to hear another big achievement? I only went and flipping lined it, didn't I? Ta-da! I think it's a bit disappointing that the pattern doesn't have a, that it's an unlined jacket. I would always line a jacket like this because the insides are not so nice. Like the insides of my denim jacket are absolutely fine. You know, they don't look offensive, they look really neat, and generally denim jackets aren't lined. This one, it would be difficult to slide clothes on and off over it if you didn't have a lining. The inside of this fabric wasn't very nice. It had like a white backing on it, a white sort of mesh, slightly foamy mesh backing, so it didn't look nice. The pattern tells you to serge all the seams, but it just looked pretty ugly actually when I was doing that, and quite quickly I decided that I was going to have to line the pattern. Now the way that I line coats, I've only done it twice, but in both cases I've had to draft my own lining pattern, and I do it using a tutorial that I will link below. It's from Blueprint, and there are a few important things to remember. You do use the same pattern pieces, but you have to make a couple of amendments. You have to have a pleat in the back to allow for extra ease for the lining to move so that you don't rip it when you take it on and off, and there are a few kind of issues to do with the way that you hem it as well. Because it's not a lined jacket, there's no instructions as to how to apply the lining, so I really had to guess about how to bag it out and how to sew the lining in place, and it was a series of guesswork, but actually it came out really, really nicely, and I was so pleased with this jacket. So massively recommend these patterns. Have a go. There's not a lot of pattern pieces, it's not complicated, so it looks much more impressive than it actually is, but I'm going to take all the credit for it, thank you very much. And top marks for Kwik Sew K3764 or Threadcount TC1911. Great job. If you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, then click on the subscribe button, and if you click on the ding ding bell next to it, you'll get a notification every time I post a new vlog. Lots of love from Camden. Bye.